Hello and welcome back to GoldStockTrades.com. Today we have a new and special guest with us, the CEO of Granada Gold Mine, Frank Bassa. Frank is CEO of Granada Gold Mine, which can be traded as GGM on the TSX Venture and as GBBFF on the OTC. Thanks, Frank, for being here with us today.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time to talk to us. Thank you very much.
Frank, you're exploring in a district that I've been following for many years in Quebec. You know, it's the top mining jurisdiction in the world, especially focused on the Cadillac break, which has produced over 75 million ounces of gold. You've recently announced some great drill results on your property. Talk to us about your Granada Gold Mine, where you're located, and some of the recent exciting news that has come out from the project.
Yeah, what we have here at Jeb is we kind of have the best location, the best address in Quebec. Anybody on the Cadillac trend, if you look at through history, anybody who's on a Cadillac trend has always found a multi-million ounce deposit. So we picked this up a few years ago. Actually, it was a distressed asset. It was only about 77 hectares, and the first thing we did was actually do a very large bulk sample. The bulk sample was about 450,000 tons. Like I tell everybody, we're very conservative. We're old school, so we did a very large bulk sample. We took over a mill, and we wanted to make sure the grades were as indicated. So, you know, there's about 20,000 meters of drilling, so we thought, okay, let's test this out. So the first bench was 145,000 tons. 32,000 tons went in the mill, and the drill indicated grade, open pit, this is all open pit, was about 0.7, and the grade came back after we poured the bar, because there's a lot of native gold in there, came back at 1.6. And then we also went and sampled the waste pile using a 4-yard loader, and that's like grabbing, at least an 8-ton sample. We did that 19 times, 3 different campaigns. We averaged each campaign, and we threw away the highest grade stuff, and the campaign came back at 1.74. So we thought there's a lot of native gold here. We missed it. The drillers missed it. We stopped the program, so we went from our 77 hectares, and we staked everything we could. So we staked up 11,000 hectares, and then we began a drill program. We did about 90,000 meters of drilling, and what we did was we created an open pit resource. Originally was 2.6 million ounces, a little over a gram. Then we found out it's better to have a smaller open pit, so we took it to 1.2, a little over a gram, and we found out we had a lot of high-grade underground. Now, historically, this was a high-grade underground mine. They operated it at about 9.7 grams a ton, plus silver in it, and it wasn't very deep. It's kind of a shallow mine for the Cadillac trend. And we said, okay, this looks pretty good. So now at this stage, what we're trying to do is go to the next level, which is do some deep drilling and find out all these high grades. Now, we did some deep drilling when the market was down. And when the market was down, we also went for permits. So we're fully permitted. We can go in production tomorrow. We're shovel ready. And our drilling, a place we call the Genesis Zone, we actually hit a lot of high grade. It was not uncommon to have grades above 10 grams a ton. So basically, going forward, we have a lot of exciting news. We're also doing what we call these mini bulk samples because the high native gold component. A simple drill core, you might have probably 100 kilos of core, but we're taking bulk samples in the 50-ton range, 50 to 500-ton range. They're called mini bulks, and that'll give us a better feeling for what we have. So lots happening. Pretty good location, historical producer, historical bulk samples, from surface, 3.5 to 5 grams a ton. So a lot happening here.
Frank, let's talk about, when you're talking about production, this is permitted, this is right in location can't be beat here. I mean, the real estate for gold and getting in Quebec, talk to us about the team that can take this forward. What's so good behind Granada that you can take it to the next level?
The real success to any asset, Jeb, it's the people, right? It's the people. It's the people. It's always the people. And you look at the people we have. Like one of the critical things we just added to our team on the board of directors is the First Nations lady. And it's so critical to work with the First Nations in Quebec and Ontario and Canada in general. And actually, they're quite easy to work with. But then you look at the rest of our team; they're all older people. They've been around the block. They've produced. They've worked for some of the major players in the world. For example, Jacques Monette, he's our mining guy. He was responsible for sinking the shafts in Mongolia, right? He's worked with Redpath all over the world. We use them regularly, and it's the quality of the people, and same with I'm a metallurgical engineer. You name a major company, I work for them. I work for Agnico. Agnico, everybody seems to know Agnico Quebec. I work for Agnico in the cobalt camp where, 70% of the silver is native, right? So a lot of these people don't understand that native silver, you have to include it part of the resource. And a lot of people seem to want to cut that out. But, if you cut out all the high grade, for example, the Pentium project in BC, well, then there wouldn't be a mine, So a lot of these mines, especially the gold mines, silver mines, a lot of them have high grade components. And, when people try to take that out as a resource, really, you don't have a mine, So it's the team is experienced. All we do is gold and silver deposits. That's all we've done for decades. And we've been pretty good at it. We've been fairly successful at developing these type of assets.
So, Frank, talk to us about what you think that investors should expect in 2020. I mean, the gold price, we're seeing gold, especially in Canada, is breaking out into new highs. The value at Granada, what makes you guys so unique? Talk to us about, what investors should really expect for 2020 and why they should be in gold and looking at Granada Gold.
Well, one of the things is, again, it's the location of the property. In the last cycle, Jeb, most people are not aware of it. We took over the distressed company. It was actually halted. It was broke. We changed the name. We put this property in 18 months. We were trading at 100 million market cap, 120 million market cap. So we have a track record of being able to take distressed assets, distressed companies, and making something into them. We're very professional in what we do. You'll see all our staff is very professional. We use people like SGS. They're kind of a global geological engineering firm. They got something like over 20,000 professionals. They're based out of Switzerland. And, you put the right team together. And, if the market is right, I think we have a wonderful gold wave coming. We call it riding the wave. And we're pretty good at getting things going. So, right now we had a bit of a bump in our stock. And this is the normal way we start off most of our programs, our stories. So it'll be more drilling, bulk samples, mini bulks, which, I think is a new way of assessing these deposits and give us a better confidence on the size of the deposit. And we intentionally designed this project to be a takeout. Now, we only explored 20% of the structure. It's about 2 kilometers to explore. It's actually 5.5 kilometers long. There's actually 2 structures on our property. And, lots to drill, lots of results. Sooner or later, somebody will take us out. The permitting process now in Quebec, it took us 2 years to get our permit. We're shovel ready. There's 8 mills in the area. 3 of them are shut down. But I think somebody will knock on our door and take us out. We had some of the majors on our property already having a look at it. And, sooner or later, somebody will come by and says, Frank, we'll take you out. And we're good with that,
Well, to get more information, you should go to granadagoldmine.com, sign up for their email. You can get more information on the website, download the presentation. The symbol is GGM on the TSX Venture and GBBFF on the OTC. We've seen a lot of interest in the Cadillac break in Quebec in the last cycle with Integra Gold. We think that in the next upcycle, there's going to be much more merger and acquisition activity, and Granada is hitting some great results and in the process of a bulk sample, and I suggest you look at the website and contact management for more information. Thank you, Frank, for being here with us today, and is there anything else that you would like to add before we conclude?
No, just take a look at the gold market is really roaring, I think, and I think it might be the best gold market we've ever seen. I think it's really going to be a great time to be in any gold stock, not just ours, but I think best time to be in gold, any gold stock.